What do you think about India's plans for semiconductor self-reliance?
Okay, well, thank you for your kind words. Semiconductors, I think we learned through the supply chain crisis that semiconductors are important and they're going to be an essential technology for the digital economy. That's why you see activity all over the globe with governments now very interested in how to build a resilient global semiconductor supply chain. And I think India has a role to play. I think there's an opportunity for India also to work with their partners. I believe, and I said that when we're talking before, I don't believe one country can solve this problem alone. It's a problem for the entire global industry. Semiconductors are in everything, and that will continue to grow. India has an important role to play in its scale, in its talent pool, to build semiconductor manufacturing capabilities, whether it's a directly manufacture of semiconductors or bringing the supply chain that exists around semiconductors. And I think we saw the United States approve the US and Chips and Science Act. There's the European Chips Act. We see a lot of countries motivated to attract that industry, and I think that's a great opportunity.
Will all of these acts globally and India's efforts solve the semiconductor supply shortage?
I think we are getting behind the shortage. At least I can speak from Qualcomm. We're no longer see this as a problem. We made the prediction in the beginning of the year that supply and demand will normalize at the end of the calendar 2022. That's what we're seeing. It's not true for all companies, but we're mostly behind that. But I think the importance of those chip initiatives from many governments is more than solving the supply chain crisis, but it's about understanding from the crisis the importance of semiconductor, and the supply chain needs to be global, needs to be resilient, and needs to be diversified. Just natural disaster alone could create a supply chain crisis of semiconductors.
And do you think all the recent developments are ticking off those 2-3 critical points that you spoke about, diversify supply chains, global?
I completely believe that's the case. We've been very active, I think, working with governments on the development of those plans, because we're the largest fabless. We don't have a manufacturing. We rely on
I'm
foundries.
glad you said that, because that was my next question.
Yeah.
Just to explain to our viewers, what do you really do in semiconductors?
We're the largest fabless company, which means we outsource all of our manufacturing. And we, as a result, we become one of the largest customers of the semiconductor foundries in the world, whether they're Taiwan and Korea, in China, in the United States, and in Europe. And I feel that the importance of those initiatives is to make sure that we'll continue to see globally the capacity, the investment, and the resilience of that very important supply chain.
So if there's a good fab in India down the line, a few years down the line, would you give them some orders?
We will use it, absolutely.
Okay, that's a good point. One last point.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.